And we are live. Hey, everybody, it's Steve Moran and Douglas Yates. How we doing?
Doing great. Another beautiful day here.
Yeah, we thought we would be back on Monday, and
Yeah,
and
that was my fault. Had a doctor's appointment. Sorry about that.
that's okay. Yeah, we got kind of caught up with some things. We didn't forget about you guys. We just got so much great stuff going on here. It's
Hey,
really,
but
really,
first,
really a lot of fun.
I want to hear about the golf. You were in the championship tournament for the year,
Yeah,
right? Over the weekend.
yeah. So for Saturday and Sunday, I played in the Southern California Tour Championship at La Costa. We had a 2-day tournament out there. And the first day, I didn't play too good. I shot 10 over. I was in second place. I was behind by 2, and then played pretty good the second day. And ended up tying for first place in the tournament. We had a
Wow.
3-way playoff, and it was great. My wife and kids got to come down there, and then I promptly just hit one in the water
Oh,
and lost the playoff. But on the high note, though, that we had the end of the year awards, and I won the player of the year for San Diego. So
oh, that's awesome.
that one, that's the one my wife really wanted me to get. She goes, yeah,
So,
player of the
so
year.
yeah, are you basically saying that I'm speaking to a champion right now?
Yeah, you're speaking to a champion.
Wow, that's great.
That's
Yeah, have
pretty
you
cool.
have you been watching Bitcoin? It's this crazy ride right now.
Yeah, I saw it went up and it busted 50 again, didn't it?
Yeah, busted 50. It's down. It's popping between 48.8 and 49.3, just up and down. But I was watching a couple of guys that I follow. All the charts are pointing where there's any buying volume that gets to any buying volume that's a little strong, it
Right.
will drive this price up because, like we've been telling you, 68 to 72% of all new purchases goes into a wallet that has not sold Bitcoin for over a year. And so these are hodl. They call them hodlers. They're holding on.
Okay.
So
Wow.
so
Okay.
that takes it out of circulation. And the over the counter, which is basically you could consider that the wholesale way to purchase. It's where people who want to buy Bitcoin in large chunks go to, and
Mm-hmm.
they'll put two people together and you get it at a discount a little bit. They're out. They are going to the exchanges now. And Coinbase yesterday they're telling people, hey, your Bitcoin will show up in your wallet in 5 to 7 days, which is that's not a network problem. This is they can't get the Bitcoin problem. And
Wow. That's
the funny thing that's going on is like the top 3 or 4 exchanges, which is Binance and Coinbase and Kraken and Gemini. They all
right.
have APIs into each other's system, and they're draining each other's uh, uh, stash of Bitcoin.
Wow. Coinbase said they were going to buy $500 million worth of crypto, and I guess they got to get on that pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
pretty
that
tough.
crypto, I mean, who knows what they're buying? The Bitcoin is scarce right now. And all that means is any hint at a strong buying volume will drive this price through the roof. We're gonna these next few months are gonna be amazing. It's gonna go just like that. It popped up to 50, right?
Right.
Next time it's gonna pop up to 55, 60, and then come down a little bit. And then we're gonna wake up, it's gonna be 80, 90, and then we're gonna wake up, it's gonna be over 100. It's kind of how it's gonna be. It's there's the I read another quote today, which was very interesting, that Bitcoin itself, not crypto, but Bitcoin itself, is the most valuable investment for holding wealth.
Right.
So as compared to real estate, gold, silver, stocks and bonds, blah blah blah, Bitcoin right now is the most valuable. It's also
Right.
the least.
It has no leaks. It doesn't. It
Right.
doesn't.
Well, that's a huge part of it.
Yeah.
Also, and it's the as a along with that stat, it's the least held, which means we're
Right.
just starting. We're just starting into the Bitcoin being held by the world at large.
But you want to see some companies that are going to run into a real problem is if you get companies like Coinbase talking about they take your money for Bitcoin and they can't deliver it to you for a few days. When you're dealing with something that's so volatile, I mean, you aren't legally even allowed to take somebody's money for a product until you ship it.
Yeah, I know they get in trouble with it. They
Okay,
well, and
and we're not talking about Nike shoes that got
yeah,
got a certain price, right?
yeah, and they got away with a lot of that before they were public. I don't. It's gonna be they're public now, so they got a whole other set of rules that they got to follow. And if they could get in trouble, so they got to keep themselves squeaky clean. And I think they're kind of hoping that they can get it from the other exchanges enough to not fall too far behind. But seriously, the inventory of Bitcoin available and the miners are not selling. Miners are keeping it and borrowing money against it to keep their operations going. So everybody is holding, and so that's why this price, when people say 100 to 150,000, 200,000 by the end of the year, that's why that's a feasible projection. It's a obtainable projection because of the environment we got now. And then we got the whole chaos of the rest of the world and the economies and wars and potential wars and inflation and printing money and blah, 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 all that craziness that only drives Bitcoin up. It only drives people to Bitcoin because there's nothing else that's stable.
Yeah. It's crazy. Bitcoin is just, it's amazing. It's just, there's probably never been a better time to actually leverage your Bitcoin and use the DeFi, right, and borrow against it, because we are at that point now where you're really going to, see those drastic going up. So I don't think you're ever going to see 20 again, like we did recently.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
We're never going to see 45 again, in my personal opinion.
And that's why, now it's a perfect time for people to really leverage it when you got something that's definitely going to be going up, because, why would you want to ever get rid of it? Right.
Yep.
It's,
Michael Saylor, the CEO of MicroStrategies, he says he has said this repeatedly since he started buying Bitcoin. He said he will never sell the Bitcoin. And you're like, well, what good is that? Well, he's going to leverage it for what he does. But he'll never sell it. And he also has been saying he really doesn't have to go back. They issued a stock. Right. They did a stock raise, and they raised a few $1 billion and put pretty much the bulk of it into Bitcoin.
Right.
And he doesn't have to do that anymore either. He's got enough Bitcoin now that he can leverage that Bitcoin, which means get loans against it or put it up as collateral for whatever he's doing, and not have to sell it.
It makes kind of what Tesla did look kind of stupid now, because they actually sold so much of it that they could have just leveraged against it, right?
Yeah, it's true.
They sold a whole bunch of it at what, 30 something.
Yeah, you get 10%. But I understood that was a liquidity test that they kind of had to do to get the board approval to buy all the Bitcoin. Because the board had to say, hey, if we buy $10 billion of Bitcoin, are we going to be able to get rid of any of it? So they bought whatever it was. I don't think it was 10 billion. It was a few billion. And then they took 10% and sold it. And it worked. It was liquid. Everything worked out.
Well, yeah, I think really, if you want to think about it from a real true CEO standpoint, the only way you ever get to turn that into shareholder profits is you got to be able to sell it, right?
Yeah.
Is they have to go sell it, and his pay is based on that. You got an extra $100 million. You got an extra $100 million in profit that comes in and sits there because of doing it that way. Because if you borrow against it, which is probably the smartest thing to do.
Yep.
But you don't get that, you don't get to count it on your books the same way for a company. So just different things like that really kind of make what people do in the market kind of interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. And I was watching another clip from Michael Saylor. They're like, what if, the world economy crashes or the United States outlaws cryptocurrency and all this kind of stuff? He's like, they can't stop it. But I could take $1 billion worth of Bitcoin and I could fly anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
And my password's in my head, and nobody can do a thing about it.
Right.
And can you take $1 billion worth of cash? Have you ever seen that picture? I think Saddam bin Laden, Saddam Hussein had $1 billion in cash, U.S. currency, in a room, and it was like 6 pallets up about 6 feet. It was a huge, and you can't put that in your pocket and travel to another country.
But yeah, it was like I watched this documentary on Netflix the other day, and they were talking about Pablo Escobar. Okay.
Yeah.
And they were saying how, he was he was making, cocaine for $5,000 a key, and he was selling it up in Miami for like 80. They said he was making $188 million a day in profit.
Yeah, and his biggest problem was get that money back to him.
Oh, the biggest problem was, now what do you do with all the cash? How do you, how do you move that around? Because, now, that's just about as difficult as bringing the drugs.
It is. In fact, I think it's even more difficult.
Yeah, because you really get a target on your back when you get caught with a whole bunch of cash.
Yep.
Absolutely. And it's like, it's just, you look at these things, and now, and like you talk about, I think Michael Saylor was also making talking about, even with $1 million, where are you going to put $1 million worth of gold? How are you going to carry that around? Or
it's tough. That's why cryptocurrency is the greatest thing since sliced bread. It gives us, no matter what chaos is happening in the world, in your nation, wherever you live, it gives you the control back of your financial future.
Right, and that's the biggest challenge. I mean, most people, when they create like an estate, they've got certain money that's going into all these other different things, and they've got somebody else that's got to manage it all. It's like, with a Bitcoin wallet, it's like you don't need to worry about that kind of stuff, and you don't have to worry about anybody getting in and stealing things either. Not give them the passcodes.
So I also been reading, there's been in the news a bunch of crypto's been, hacked into and stolen. And these were exchanges that they're hacking into. Right. So this is where you have to stay educated in this environment to be able to be 100% protected and be in 100% control. So when you open an account at an exchange, it's like opening an account at a bank. And when you put your money or your crypto into it goes into their account. Just like when you deposit your money at a bank, they credit it to your account number, but that cash, that money goes into the bank's control. They control that. Do they have to give it back to you? No, they don't. It would be bad if they didn't, but if they're in trouble, and they could just keep it, and you're screwed. You got the federal FDIC and all that stuff, but it's kind of a trust situation there, and it works because they don't want runs if they don't want runs on banks, so they kind of had to play that whole game.
Right.
But with crypto and these headlines of this money being, first of all, they recovered a lot of it because they were able to trace it because of the history in the blockchain explorer and all that kind of stuff. But these are exchanges. So if you have a wallet that you created and you have the 12 or 24 word password, you are 100% control, and your crypto is in that wallet. You are 100% control of that.
Right.
As soon as you put into exchange, then they have control, and you got to trust them. Yeah. And some are very trustworthy, and some aren't. Coinbase is the biggest, and can they get hacked? Yeah, they can get hacked. I don't know what their firewall security is. I do know about Gemini. I've researched them a lot, and they have an incredible firewall security system where they have basically 4 firewalls, and they let people through the first one, and then they watch them. If they start penetrating the second one, they pull themselves off the internet. They've done it once, and so I know it works. I was a customer of theirs when they did it, and by the end of that, it was like, I think it was on a Thursday or Friday that it happened, and by Tuesday they were back up. They plugged the hole and they were back up.
Yeah, but they protected everything.
They protected everything, right? Yeah, you got to stay educated.
Right.
And you got to be smart about this. When you open an account exchange, it's their wallet that crypto is going into, not your wallet.
Right.
So it's not a good place to store, is what I'm trying to tell you. Hopefully you're getting that out of this.
Yeah, if you buy it there, you should still just move it over to your own wallet and always have control of it, because, like you were talking about, if Michael Saylor could take off and have $1 billion, worth of it, but he does not have it in Coinbase. I promise you that.
No.
Okay.
No, he's got it in
all like that.
Yeah, I'm sure in the corporate minutes they got the passwords in there, and it's 100% protected, and very limited people see it, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's
got to be.
And then you go, well, what I need, if I do that, then I don't earn interest. Yeah, but Bitcoin goes up 200+% every year. I mean, how much interest do you want?
You get appreciation.
Yeah. So do you really need interest? I don't know.
Interest, because you get appreciation. You're going to just get that automatic growth. I mean,
yeah.
You know,
And the way that I play it too is I put everything into Bitcoin. So everything I earn goes, after taxes and everything, like all goes into Bitcoin. And then from there, and I keep the bulk of it in Bitcoin. And if I want to play with an alternate coin, I use my Bitcoin to do that. I'll take my Bitcoin and I'll buy that alternate coin. And then if it goes up, I'll convert it back to Bitcoin.
Right.
Or if it goes down, whatever. When I'm done with it, I convert it back to Bitcoin. So that's a great way to live it with Bitcoin as your base. And I got a call with a buddy of mine. He's a CEO of a fairly large company, and he's like, "Man, I want to get into one of these. I want to hit a home run. I want one of these 100x to 1000x kind of things. How do I do that?" I go, "Well, it's kind of a gamble." And I told him about the 3 pillars. You got to look at a coin that has a community, and that has a good, it's based on a good technology, or there's technology around it, and it's liquid. And if it has that, then it's got a good base. If any of those are lacking, or they're saying it's to be determined, or it will be coming in the future,
right,
then you got to be careful. And that's why I like, our use case has turned into this thing now, Kens Coin Reels. It has those. We're going into it building those 3 pillars, and it has the community, and pretty soon it'll have the liquidity, and that's when we'll start doing our marketing push on it. It's great. We've already actually have a couple transactions of people coming in and donating in and getting some coin in return, and helping out the families with special needs already. And so it's working. I mean, this is kind of exciting. You're right at the ground floor. So I told him, hey, if you want to do it, we got wheels, and there's all sorts of with ones, but that one I know the most about, because we're making sure that it's got the strongest foundation ever. There's no fluff in there at all.
No, we're literally going to change the way charities and nonprofits raise the money, the same way Airbnb changed the way people travel, and Uber changed the way people get around town. I mean, we have a way now where, it's very difficult for these nonprofits and things to raise money. If a lot of them have got phone rooms out there that are doing it, they're changing 50 to 70% they have to pay just for the cost of raising money. And then, they're so top heavy with, office space and, employees and these kinds of things. Not a lot of money is being able to go towards the cause that they really want it to go towards. Imagine when people can go into, and they've got so many, these charities have got so many amazing things that could, from their past, that can go in and be created into NFTs. That's what's really exciting about what we're creating is this thing has just kind of really evolved along the way to where we found out one of the real key components that you need, because the hardest thing in crypto is buying it. That's the hardest thing. So if you can have an exchange, then you can make that easy, because now you can literally put a buy button on any website, and now you don't need to go find these out of the way exchanges or wherever to be able to buy that, right? And you look at all these different crazy things with NFTs. Imagine Make-A-Wish, if they go back for the last 30 years of what they've done in the community and the things that they've already documented. They probably got $50 million worth of NFTs, that can be done right then. So, you want to talk about something that's got a real potential to do the 100 or 1,000 kind of X. I really think the Kens Coin is going to be right there, because, what we're doing is every dollar that comes in, 80% is going to go back out into the community. And we're going to help people that have families with special needs children, right? And we're going to document that. We're going to be, putting on charity celebrity type golf tournaments and auctions that are, people are going to need to use Kens Coin to participate in. We're going to be, at these events that we do, we're going to be, showing what we've been doing in the community and creating NFTs around that also, so it's kind of like once you do a project, then you get to create NFTs around it, and then you get to do these auctions, and you get to meet more people through it. And it's, it's really amazing. And I think we're going to go out and literally help these charities, nonprofits plug into our turnkey system. And that's where the big, the big, kind of lottery ticket could be in this, because, what we're going to do is we'll do these for these charities, and in lieu of cash, we're going to take a certain percentage of the tokens that are created. And 25% of those tokens are going to be going to, Kens Coin, holders. So imagine waking up one day and finding Make-A-Wish coins, or, American Heart Society, or these different kinds of coins that can be created that already have millions of people that love them. You want to see a coin that goes off and something that can pop real fast. I mean, just imagine what some of these charities and things can do, and how fast they can do it. So, I mean, this is going to be a real fun ride, and it's going to be a lot of fun to share it with you guys.
Yeah. It's going like gangbusters. We like I said at the beginning of this conversation, is it kind of took on a life of its own. A few weeks ago, Steve and I were putting our heads together. We need to show people how they could use this blockchain and really leverage an idea, or just take it from the beginning to the end. And so we were just trying to think of a use case, and this kind of came up, and then it got legs when we started sharing it with other people. They got very excited. So we created the coin, and that was a really easy step. And I wrote an article on it. You guys could have access to that. Just put it in the comments or email us, and I'll get you that article of how to create your coin. And that's kind of almost the easiest part of it. The rest is getting these three legs, the economy, the liquidity, and the community built to proper, so you got a nice stable coin. And that's where it kind of grew into where what's happening right now is not only do we have a cryptocurrency that's helping others, it's helping everybody. So if you want to help families in needs, you can acquire this coin, and you're helping the 80% of that's going in to helping families' needs, and then the coin that you get back, the potential is unlimited. Right now you're getting it at 0.0028 cents, 288 cents.
Right.
For it to go to 2 cents, that's basically tenfold, and that's a great return on your money. So if you spent or donated $5,000, that's $50,000 that the coin's worth. I mean, that's how you donate to your church and get back tenfold of what you put in there, which is kind of it. If you read the Bible, it's kind of biblical, actually.
I talked about that, didn't I?
The more you give, the more you get in return. You'll bless others, you'll get blessed, type of thing. Right. And so we're just kind of putting that into a crypto, that concept into a crypto, and it is taking off. Like, it's going great.
Yeah, it's amazing how things happen. I think this kind of entered my mind, first of all, because I've been involved in buying and selling crypto since 2016, but I've been trying to find one of these little 100 or 1,000x kind of deals that I could hop on myself, and I missed Safe Moon because it took me 3 or 4 days to figure out how to buy it, and I had a chance to get in there and it didn't get it. And then I got into this other coin that was supposedly something that was going to, benefit autism until you read the fine print. And it was like only 10% of it goes to that. And, that's what really kind of got me thinking, wow, 10%, what are you guys doing with the rest? Instead of just focusing on getting yourself rich, what if we did something that actually, did something good in the community? And, if you think about what like Dogecoin has done, if you go and watch the video at www.kenscoin.io, and, we did a comparison where we kind of showed you against Doge. At that time, Dogecoin was worth about $34 billion. There was almost 2,800 wallets that had over $1 million in them. And of those, like 400 and something wallets had over 10 million in them, and it was created as a joke. It doesn't do anything, and, it's and then you've got these other knockoff coins that are kind of doing the same kind of thing. And everybody's been following that around. What happens if you actually do something with the community and you really actually help people? And, I'd like to think that, Ken's Coin can be the conduit to really helping empower nonprofits and charities to go out and really create endowments for themselves and really be able to really go out and really make that kind of impact that they truly want to make. And I think that this is the real way to be able to do that. And, we're going to document how it works here with Ken's Coin and show you as we start talking with other charities and showing it how it works. And, the exchange we've got is, it's not only a crypto, but it's also going to be, for the NFT. So we've got all the pieces of the puzzle here. And the other thing that we're doing too is, as far as truly creating a community, is we've got 10% of the coins that are set aside for, we call it admin purposes. But what that is, we're going to need, people in our community to help us find families with special needs. We're going to need people in our community to help us set up and facilitate the golf tournaments and make sure that everything's all handled the right way when we have events and things along those lines. and we're going to have people that want to refer other people into the community. And the people that come in and partner up and want to be part of what we're doing, there's 10% of 8.8 billion. What's that? 880 million coins. Okay, that we've got sitting there, or we're going to give them away to somebody. Give them away to somebody. Okay, it's just people that come in and add some value to what we're doing. And then we've got 7% of the coins set aside for marketing. So if people that love this concept and want to get involved, you can end up with 25% of the amount of coins that those people get. So we're really trying to build a community that living up to what we're talking about, turning a community into an economy. And that's what's I think the most powerful thing is, because if you really have a true community that believes in something and is rowing in the same direction, using crypto and using this kind of a format that we're using in the Ken's coin, I really believe is a way to turn it into a real economy and help everybody in that community really benefit big time financially. And I don't know what else you can do, in the world today to do that. You can fall in love with a cause and get all excited about the cause, but what the cause typically wants you to do, they keep calling you every week. They want you to just keep making donations, and all you're getting is write-offs for that, right? All you're doing is maybe getting some sort of tax deductible write-off. But what if you were putting lottery tickets in your pocket all the time and you had something that's really, really, really good? If you're looking, Dogecoin could be worth, $40 billion. What do you think Make-A-Wish could be worth? What do you think? What do you think some of these really big United Way charities, what do you think the values of those charities could become? They can't do a stock offering because they're not they're not a for-profit business, but that does not preclude them from being able to do what we're doing in this. And absolutely the perfect vehicle for them, don't you?
Yeah, it is the crypto, the blockchain world. It's built for this, and because a huge part of these of charity, people, there's a trust in there. And you gotta say, hey, are you really doing 80%? Are you really doing that? And the beauty about blockchain is you can go look.
You can go look.
It's 100% transparent, and we're gonna be over transparent. But we are. We're telling you here. We're showing it on the website. And we're showing it in the blockchain. So we have to follow the rules, or it's not going to work.
Right. Yeah. That's the amazing thing about this is. This is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to show you. You want to be able to really learn how to, get in on a deal that's 100x or 1,000x or 10,000x or whatever. Get in and do what we're doing. Head over to www.kenscoin.io. If you like what you see, set up a time. You'll talk to either myself or Douglas, and we'll see if we're a good fit. There's a lot of opportunity with our company to do a lot of amazing things and really create a lot of impact, I think, and really help benefit a lot of people out there that are struggling, that could use this kind of help. And, one of my mentors always said, he says, if you want to become a billionaire, you got to solve a problem that a billion people got the problem, Yep. And I think we're dealing with something that's way bigger than that. And the ability to make money quickly in this market is really going to be unbelievable. It's like, because when from the time you create one of these coins and you put this together, and we've got the exchange, and we go into a nonprofit and say, hey, let's go do some NFTs for your community, and then let's introduce the coin at the same time. You were talking about something there, that the ground floor or something that, it's going to be like unicorns popping up right and left. Unicorns, $1 billion valuations popping up right and left. Okay. And those coins, those you can't say there's no substance to that. Okay. When Ethereum came out, people go, oh, well, are people going to do that? What, you think people are going to stop contributing to United Way? You think they're going to stop contributing to, to Make-A-Wish? It's like they've been doing it for decades and decades and decades. And there's hundreds and thousands of charities and foundations and communities out there that we can tap into and really, we can all find a lot of success from helping others find the same kind of success.
Absolutely. So, hey, just do what Steve said. Go over to kidscoin.io and check it out, and or give us an email or contact us and however you're watching us in the comments and stuff, and we'll get back to you. We're kind of handpicking the first few people just because we're going to keep this thing on strong legs at the beginning here, and before it's because it's got to it's going to take off where we're not going to be able to control it.
Right.
We know that, so we're going to build a strong foundation first. So with that, let's wrap it up, and we'll talk to you guys again tomorrow. What do you think, Steve?
I think that's a good idea, guys. Yeah, we'll be here first thing tomorrow morning, and head over to kenscoin.io. Take a look at what we're doing. You want the opportunity to see something that's really going to try and make a difference in this world and really be part of something. And that's one of the other reasons. I mean, I've got friends I could reach out to at the country club, and we go sell out this $150,000 real fast, but that's making fat cats fatter, and they're not even going to really appreciate a lot of the stuff. It's like, I'd really like to be able to, have a whole bunch of people that we don't know that we got to meet and got to get involved in this because they believed in it the way that we did. And let's help impact some people's lives who deserve it. So
yes,
it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. We will be back tomorrow morning, approximately 8 a.m. Pacific time. And until then,
see ya.
All right. Thanks, guys.